disruptive.
America that I fought.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. It's been a fantastic day so far. So I just want to show you this. Because now since the Republicans got what they wanted, overturning Roe v. Wade, and that sparked a lot of backlash and protests, now it seems that they're backpedaling a bit. Primarily in the realms of an election cycle. It seems like, oops, we kind of need something to run on, and we're losing votes, we're losing consciousness with the younger demographics, so maybe we can regurgitate this. Maybe we can backpedal on this and change our decision. Particularly with one person in particular that they note is Kari Lake. That's the representative from Arizona, who they claim Trump in heels. Remember that thing. Because she was definitely full-farted on the kind of the anti-abortion stance when the ban came into effect and overturning Roe v. Wade. Well, this is what she used to say about it. Take a listen.
I'm incredibly thrilled that we are going to have a great law that's already on the books. So it will prohibit abortion in Arizona, and I think we're going to be paving the way and setting course for other states to follow.
So that's what she used to say, and that was what a lot of them, what it peddled to overturning Roe v. Wade. But now, because it's the election cycle and Republicans, of course, want to win, she now has a new campaign out. This is from Kari Lake's personal Twitter account here, saying that abortion is a very sensitive issue and voters deserve to know where every candidate stands. Here's my position, which loosely translates to, oops, I want to get elected. I want you to like me. So here's some words I'm going to say that are going to benefit the doubt. But here's where this gets interesting, because it's amazing the transition from what you just heard previously to now. Listen to that.
This total ban on abortion that the Arizona Supreme Court just ruled on is out of line with where the people of this state are. The issue is less about banning abortion and more about saving babies. I agree with President Trump. This is such a personal and private issue. I chose life, but I'm not every woman. I want to make sure that every woman who finds herself pregnant has more choices so that she can make that choice that I made. I'll never forget the first time I got pregnant, taking that pregnancy test, looking down, and I was excited, but I'll be honest, I was afraid as well. I was nervous. I was anxious. It's natural for women to be nervous and anxious when they're pregnant. I never would ever assume that any woman had the same exact feelings I had or situation I had. We know that some women are economically in a horrible situation. They might be in an abusive relationship. They might be the victim of rape. I agree with President Trump. We must have exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of a mother. We as American people don't agree on everything all of the time. But if you look at where the population is on this, a full ban on abortion is not where the people are. The issue is less about banning abortion and more about saving babies. And we can do that. We are only as strong as our greatest institution, which is the family. I had a real eye-opening experience this last summer. I had the opportunity to visit Hungary, and it completely changed my view of how we should deal with this complicated, difficult issue. In Hungary, what they did I thought was so amazing. They started with their tax rate, and when you get married, they give you a cut in your tax rate. When you have your first child, they give you another cut. By the time a mother has 4 children, she never pays taxes again. That's called a baby bonus. I think we should do that here in America. We bail out banks and multinational corporations all the time. When's the last time we've given an assist to a struggling mother in a family? So many young people are saying, I don't ever think I could become a mother or father because, heck, I can't even afford to get by on my own. How would I ever become a parent? They see the economy faltering. They see crime rising. They're working 2 and 3 jobs, and it's still not enough to get by. We need to make sure that our Economic policies are growing our economy and making our young people prosperous as well, so they can live that American dream. And the American dream means being able to afford to have a family and watch those beautiful children grow. Ask any mother, no matter what she's accomplished in life, and she will say, my greatest accomplishment, my greatest achievement is being a mother. Ruby came out. She was born on a Sunday morning at 6:39 a.m. And I'll never forget that moment of watching my baby come out and holding her for the first time. Ruby was just 10 months old when I found out I was pregnant with Leo. She quickly warmed up to Leo, and they've become just the best of friends, and it's just been such a joy to watch them grow up. I want more women to have that joy and that achievement. I want to write legislation, vote for policies that will help make that a reality. That is what makes our country great. I'm so honored to call President Trump friend. I'm so honored to have his endorsement, and I 100% agree with him as a mother and as a woman. He did so much to help save babies and protect women, bringing down the unconstitutional Roe v. Wade, which people on both sides of the issue admitted was unconstitutional, and allowing we the people to decide this issue. Right now, we're in that part where we're deciding the issue. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, there are emotions that are so strong, and people are angry, and people are sad, and they're furious. This is the difficult part. I didn't get into politics because I thought it was going to be easy. I'm okay with the difficult parts, and right now we're in that part where we need to work through this issue. And thankfully, as we're working through this issue, it's not just going to be the abortion extremists calling the shots. People who are pro-life have the ability at this moment, thanks to President Trump, to be involved in this process, to come up with policies that will work to help women and save babies.
So it's amazing. It's amazing that the most conservative woman, as they claim, is sounding the most pro-choice. And that, I think, is kind of the general position when it comes to that. Is, yeah, you may have an opinion when it comes to the term abortion or what that simplifies or what exactly does that do for the mother and the child. But really, it comes down to bodily autonomy, and that's something that I preach. That's something that apparently she's preaching. I don't know if that's actually the case, because she went and used that and then said, this is why we have to overturn Roe v. Wade. This is why we can't allow certain things to happen. And so I don't know if this is an exact change in her position or if this is just bantering for political brownie points, if you will. But this is something that I think everyone exemplifies, whether you're kind of more on the right side of politics or the left side of politics, is that, she says I'm not every woman. Like, I have my position, but I don't know what other people are going through. I don't know what other pregnancies are like. And she mentions about rape victims. She mentions about people with financial scrutiny, that they're anxious or they don't know if they can support a child and raise a family. And I thought it was interesting that you brought up that, maybe we should create policies that help more of the nuclear family establish. That would actually be a kind of a smarter idea. Is that, there's a lot of people out there, and I know there's so many articles out there about how millennials and Gen Z are not having families and they're ruining the nuclear family. Like, there's so many of those ridiculous, stupid articles written by top figureheads at, Wall Street and bankers alliances and so on and so forth, that they're demonizing a population by saying, hey, why are you not getting pregnant more? But she makes an excellent point on the fact that people can't afford to raise a family. They can't afford to, raise themselves in this crazy nightmare hellhole that we're in right now. How do you expect them to give life and give birth to another person and grow them into the society that's already a disaster afloat? So there's good points to be made about this. Whether this is actually intentional to actually do something about this, or if this is just banter to, you know, get as much as the vote as possible, because obviously she's running, she wants to get votes, so she, pledges herself as saying, well, I'm pro-life, but I'm not every person, and I want to get the pro-choicers out there. Um, which again, that's kind of the position, to say that you're a pro-abortionist. Like nobody actually wants an abortion. Nobody's pleading, unless you're the very, very slim, tiny percent of people that, do it for the sake of it. Abortion should be the last resort. It's the same with war. Like, I don't want war, period. It should only happen at the last resort. If that's the only thing, the only option of a situation. But what I would say, and kind of what she was saying, is that we need to find other methods to allow the safety and stability for families to function, for young, babies to be born and raised, and help them. That's kind of the pro-life position that I would, exemplify within my pro-choice status, is need to focus on healthcare. We need to make sure that we support, the family status in America, and not sending our money overseas, not bailing out the banks, not giving trillions to Wall Street and foreign dignitary. Like, we should be entrenching and investing more in the American household. That would be at least a start in this this issue. And I think that she does make excellent points, but I don't know if this is actually intentional. I don't know what exactly she's going to stand on this. If she is going to rally for more of the stance. I don't know what to make of this, but it's pretty interesting, the shift that she's pledging here. And I think if more people spoke highly in this regard and explained to people the position of what I would consider bodily autonomy, that it comes down to you as a person and your doctor, not, a state's decision or a federal decision or anybody else's. I think it comes down to you as a patient and the doctor that's facilitating. I think that comes down to that notion. That should be the case. That's kind of the grounding for what people are saying. And even some, pro-lifers are kind of in that same boat, that they understand why the provisions of why so many people choose that direction. Like I said, nobody wants to have it. Nobody wants to, unless you're a crazed maniac. Nobody's pro-abortion. But you're not every person. And there's people out there that have struggles. There's people out there that are unfortunately stuck in the situation where they need to consider these options. And what she says is that, I'm not every person. I have my position, but we need to look at other resources. We need to exemplify other resources to help families so that people can actually raise families. And that was something miraculous. So kudos to Kari Lake on that. But again, I don't know if this is actually sincere, because then she went on to denounce Roe v. Wade, which, again, the whole issue is a very controversial take, but at least is a start in the good direction.